Everybody, you're watching Fox 11. This is the Fox 11 Morning News. Good day, LA. I'm Steve Edwards, and here's what's making news this Monday, May the 14th. How much is it going to cost you? California's power crisis. Public Utilities Commissions will decide today how much you'll pay. We'll have the latest on that. There are reports of a major break in the murder case involving Robert Blake's wife. We'll have the latest developments in the story. Dennis Rodman's weekend birthday bash. He turned 40. He could do 40. A near riot, including a helicopter landing on Newport Beach and a bunch of charges being filed. We'll have the latest on that. Good morning, Dorothy Lucy.
Good morning, Stevie. Act like you're happy to see me.
I am so thrilled to
So
see you.
phony. Hi, everybody. I'm Dorothy Lucy. You know what? A really big star has come out of the closet. And personally, I am devastated by this because I planned on marrying him.
Wow.
It's not George Clooney. It's not even Steve. It's the other guy that I love.
Denzel?
It's not my husband. It's not Denzel.
Harry
It's
King?
the other one.
Harry
it's not
King?
Harry King.
Right.
God, I
How
sound
many
like
men do you
slut.
Richard Simmons?
Richard Simmons came out. We're shocked. We're shocked and appalled. You know, this is a tease, so I'm not supposed to tell you.
Oh, that's
yet.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Show's almost over.
J-Lo and the porno tape, and a big star gets fired, but really all I care about is the man that came out of the closet. All that's coming up on Good Day LA. I'm done.
Jill's not wearing a lot in her closet. Anyway, this is FHM. This is spectacular.
Thank you.
This is exciting stuff here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Halle Berry on the cover, how can you go wrong, right? Until
Yes.
you look at the size of Halle and then you look at the size of me and then you start to, you know. Anyway, good morning, everybody. 50s and 60s currently. It's going to be an amazing day out there. Plenty of sunshine. Highs today are going up into the 70s. Downtown, we think the 80s. In the valley, we don't think. In fact, we know for a change. Oh, look at this. Do I know where this is? This is not Catalina. Where is this? Is this Santa Monica?
That would look like the Santa Monica Pier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Went down there on Saturday, I believe, and had lunch at the Ivy.
The Ivy in the shore.
Had a little therapy, went for a little lunch at the Ivy.
Therapy and the Ivy.
Therapy, then the Ivy. Took the sister down to and I said, see that? There's a Ferris wheel down there. That's as close as you're getting to it. It's the view from the Ivy, because I don't do amusement park. I don't do
saw,
organized
by the way,
fun.
Your therapist afterwards staggering along the Santa Monica Pier. That was right after.
Boozing it up. I can't take that woman anymore.
5 days.
There's your 5-day. Break it down, Foxy.
Break it down,
76 today, 77 tomorrow. Warmer as we head into the mid part of the week. And we think by Thursday we'll be at 80 degrees. An amazing forecast indeed. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you very much. 7:01 the time right now. To Rod we go. I don't know if it's in Ground Fox or Sky Fox.
Ground Fox.
I know you got up earlier.
Yes.
I saw the mess. I was driving through and I figured you cannot stay up in the soup, and you didn't, right?
That's right. The motto is, if you can't see, you can't fly. So we put it back down on the ground.
Wow.
See that? We have our own little slogan. But we still have all the latest on your traffic community. There's a couple of things out there you need to know about, folks. First, let's take a look at the 101 at Vignes. Northbound traffic's going away from us. That's the inbound side. You see brake lights. Stop and go as you make your way over towards that 4 level on that inbound 101 on the northbound side. Here's the signal alert, and this is going to be a problem for a while, folks. 710 southbound, all traffic is being taken off the freeway at Atlantic Bandini. Now, police are dealing with a problem on the freeway overpass just a little farther south of there. So all traffic being taken off the southbound Long Beach Freeway at Atlantic Bandini and detoured around the problem. Now, traffic is already slowing starting about Olympic Boulevard, and it's just going to get worse. We'll keep an eye on that for you. When that clears up, we'll let you know. But right now, all southbound lanes are shut down at Atlantic Bandini. Over in Linwood, also on the 710, this time on the northbound side, Long Beach Freeway northbound, just before Imperial, there's a 2-car injury crash here. It's got the left lane corked up and has you slowing starting about Rosecrans, 710 north before Imperial Highway. 2-car injury collision with the left lane blocked. One of our traffic cameras, this is going to be the 5 at Downey Road. Northbound traffic's going away from us, north and southbound. Pretty heavy volume there on that Santa Ana Freeway 5 at Downey Road. So fog could be a factor. Give yourself a little extra time. Steve Edwards.
Rod, I'm going to ask for a little extra time here in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
We're going to be doing the story of the latest development in the murder of Robert Blake's wife, Bonnie Lee Bakley. And I have some questions to ask you, and I want to take advantage of your 17 years on the police force, okay? So that's coming up here in just a couple of minutes. 7:03. First, today state regulators will decide just how much you'll have to pay for electricity. Lisa Breckenridge is live at Edison headquarters in Rosemead, and can you feel the prices heating up there?
Oh, yes. We're at it's kind of cold out here, actually, quite frankly, but I'm sure everyone inside's a little on pins and needles, because today California Edison customers are going to find out how much those rate hikes are going to be, because the California Public Utility Commission is going to decide how to divide up this record-setting electricity rate hike. everyone's going to feel a little bit of the pain, anywhere from 7% all the way up to 61%. And you know what? California's energy crisis has a lot of folks talking. High power prices and high prices at the pump. Governor Gray Davis blames out-of-state energy providers for putting the squeeze on California consumers.
We're being obscenely gouged by price gougers out of Texas and the Southwest.
Davis says some providers are charging more than 60 times the amount for electricity as they did just 1 year ago. Meantime, the Bush administration is preparing to unveil its energy plan designed to increase supply and reduce demand. But Democrats insist the president must step in and put price caps on wholesale energy. Not everyone agrees.
Even a freshman in college is studying economics knows if you cap the cost of being able to recoup your investment, that people who want to invest aren't going to do it.
Democrats also say President Bush, a former oil man, should ask the Federal Trade Commission to investigate rising prices.
The top 3 oil companies in America made more than $10 billion in profits in the first 3 months of this year.
The meeting of the Public Utilities Commission takes place this morning at 10 up in San Francisco, so after that we should have a better idea of exactly how bad it's going to be. Live in Rosemead, I'm Lisa Breckenridge. Steve, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Lisa. These are the developments in the murder of actor Robert Blake's wife. There are broadcast reports that police have found the gun they believe was used to kill Bonnie Lee Bakley. She was shot to death after she and Blake visited a Studio City restaurant. There are also reports that during a search of Blake's home, police found the same kind of ammunition that was in the gun, a Walther PPK. However, the casings on those bullets do not match the ammunition in the gun, and I'm told it's a very popular kind of ammunition. Blake told police he had gone back to the restaurant to get a gun he left behind, that when he came back he found Bakley had been shot. Story's taking quite a few turns. Before we get into the other turns, I want to get Rod back in here. This is probably a pretty major beat on this case, finding the gun. And Rod, for those people who are not familiar with the issues around guns, about bullets and casings and all of that, I want you to jump in here and tell us what we're talking about, okay?
Well, Steve, one of the things that the investigators are going to want to know is it the same caliber gun? And if it's the same caliber gun, they'll fire a round through it, and then they're going to check the riflings on that particular round and see if it matches up with any rounds that may have been recovered from the victim. One of the difficulties is depending on the kind of bullet it is, the bullet can be badly deformed. But if they get a bullet, if they recover a bullet from the murder victim, and they have that for a comparison, then they can take a look at the gun that they found and the riflings, and that's just like a fingerprint. Those will match up almost, well, they will match up exactly, and the firearms expert can go in there and testify in court that those the bullet from this gun is the one that was recovered from the victim. So that's one thing they're going to be taking a look at right away.
Your sense of watching this case, in the first day or two afterwards, it appeared that Blake was not a prime suspect, at least the way the news has been playing this, and we have been playing this. It seems like they are looking at him very closely now. His former bodyguard, Earl Caldwell, said when he was questioned, that was the only way the line of questioning was going. What is your take on what you're hearing here?
Well, Steve, I think you correctly put it. We are the ones in the media that have been reporting what we think the police status is in dealing with Robert Blake. Here's the bottom line. You never rule out anybody. Remember, a homicide investigation is a process of elimination. So you start at the homicide scene, and that's a circle that goes out. And that's not only from evidence collection, but it's also at who are the possible suspects, who has a motive for the crime, things like that, who may have witnessed the crime, what are the statements, what's being said, has that changed from the first time you interview to the second time you interview? Now remember, the investigators are under intense scrutiny here. There was an article in the LA Times about how difficult it is when you have a high-profile case like this with the whole world watching. They don't want to make any mistakes. They're going to take their time, and they're going to do the job that they know how to do as well as they can. And one of the things is that you don't call somebody a suspect before you have that person in handcuffs and in jail and ready to go to the district attorney's office and charge that person.
And let me just tell you, Rod used to work police information and used to deal with the broadcast stations and newspapers, etc. So I think it's important to say here that when police did not report him a suspect the first couple of days, and the media are saying he's not a suspect, that's a media interpretation of what's happening with the investigation, rather than the investigation saying he is not a suspect.
I believe the lead investigator in the case said that Robert Blake is not officially a suspect. Now, the media interpreted that as he is not a suspect. Well, the police didn't really say that. And sometimes the media looks at those nuances. The first time they say he's not a suspect, the second time they may say in the statement that he's not an official suspect. And then the media takes that interpretation and then tries to make something out of that. You know, is this a new development in the case? We don't know. What the public needs to know is about how this thing is being investigated. It's slow and methodical, and it takes time, especially when you're dealing with a high-profile case like this.
Okay, Rod, thank you very much. It is 7:09 right now. Dennis Rodman could face a host of misdemeanor charges after his birthday party got a little out of control at the beach. What with the helicopter landings and all of that?
What with?
What with? Let's go to Tony. Good morning, Tony.
Well, you pretty much told the whole story.
Okay.